un siete. Let's take a look. This is a very exciting time in history. I have at times questioned myself for wondering why I stood at a grave where a man was 40 years old in 1776 and wondered, what did you go through? And here, as a grown man, not a maniac running around with hormones getting in the way of everything, you finally reach the age of being an adult. I wondered what they saw. And this might not answer it in any way at all. But look, there's 33 Strategies of War. This was bought for me a Christmas present a couple of years ago, and I got halfway through it, and I started reading things about Saddam Hussein, and I'd already obviously read 1984. I'd already obviously read the Handmaid's Tale stuff. I know how this stuff goes a little bit. I know the fear of what we could become. As much as you might like it, hey, yeah, your sister's the only one in town that's fertile. You might as well fuck her. Ha! Fucking 33 Strategies of War. And I'm finding at this time, these last couple of days, it's freakish a little bit, but it's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That guy that was the guy with the big New Deal or whatever the hell it was, and he was goddamn president during World War II. If you want to hold something against him, he got us through. Unless you wanted to be a Nazi, then, well, he got in the way of everything. But people like to act like he's a cripple, and it's, you know what? He's not the cripple you think he is. He got polio, so he was in a fucking wheelchair. And, oh, well, you know, you can hold it against him for getting polio all you want, but if you look into your past, you'll find you have many relatives that had polio. If only they could have gotten a fucking shot. Either way, he made it through 3 terms of the presidency, close to it anyway. I think he died at the end or something. They just got rid of him. But that's Roosevelt. And they talked about him when he was coming on with his wheelchair, when they wanted to be Nazis. And they're like, fuck these guys. And here comes Roosevelt in his wheelchair, right there at the end. And they accused him of hiding and being quiet all this time. But, and I'm not sharing a secret that's going to make anybody else look better, because if they don't want to listen to me, they're not going to hear a word I say. It's okay to say this. They talk about how he came on late. 33 Strategies of War. They talk about how he came on late. And because the other jackass, whoever it might have been, probably somebody by the name of Drumpf, he just kept saying a bunch of shit and people were sick of listening to him already. And this guy, Roosevelt, shows up and he's like, okay, I'm ready to talk. And everything he said made sense, but it wasn't worn down by the stupidity of the races. It was not yet worn down because it was over and over and over, like the other guy, like that poor guy. Roosevelt came in and he said what he had to say, and he won against all odds. And so you think about that. And when I've heard them talking in the past years, remember, I gotta tell you, I'm a fucking independent voter. I'll be your Judas. Fuck you if you're an asshole. I'll go with the other side. Because if I don't, I'm going to have somebody coming up behind me. They talk about how Biden campaigned from the basement. And I had already read this 33 Strategies of War at that point. I'm like, that's the way to do it. Don't fucking waste your time. You know, these people, they don't even know what day it is when they wake up, because all they hear is sharks and fucking Hannibal Lecter and, oh fuck, something else. Ha! By the way, in the novels, everything I've ever read, Hannibal Lecter is not dead. So there's a simple answer. And Sir Anthony Hopkins, he's still alive. So there's another thing. So, okay. Lay low. Don't put out your story until it's time. And they talked about that Biden character doing that constantly. I'm like, well, that's the Roosevelt way from the 33 Strategies of War. But what I saw happen in the last couple of days, it's kind of pretty fun, isn't it? Isn't it? They added another strategy here at the October surprise that's supposed to be coming up, but ahead of it, so they can just, I got you now. I got you now. They didn't have Biden come up out of the basement. They just shifted the whole scene. They've got something brand new. That, the way I see it, I see no illegality in it at all. She is there. He has put in his notice, I'm done on January 20th. I thank you for supporting me in my life and my ambitions. And I find that the best time is now for me to retire. And then here comes this. There's a woman there. And I am so sorry. Just now I said woman. I caught myself. In the back of my mind is there's a person there. Man, woman, child, indifferent. There's a person here that is coming in. You guys want your God. You want your Messiah. You want your second guessing of your children when they don't support your vote. They just did something I never saw coming. And this, I believe, is the 34th strategy of war. 7. 7. It would have been a good ending. He ran. 34 strategies of war. Screw 'em!